Hey David, I saw that business analysts have already approved the specification for income tracking feature. Could you please estimate it?
No, the designs are not ready yet. It could take months to implement what they draw there.
Well, we need at least preliminary estimates because this feature gets into the next quarter. And as you know, we need to sign the new contract with clients.
Yes, I know. Very well. Depending on the designs, it will take from 2 weeks to 6 months.
This short dialogue contains multiple serious problems, and an IT project manager should know how to identify and navigate those problems. So let's unpack what's happening here. So why does he not want to provide us the preliminary estimates? Most probably he worked with bad project managers before. A project manager asked him to guess the estimates based on incomplete requirements. But then this PM didn't allow to adjust those estimates later. For example, because he had communicated those estimates to the clients already. Then the manager insisted on fitting into those initial estimates, and it was an unnecessary stressful experience. We don't want to be that manager, so let's try to address this problem first. Okay, David, we'll have to be more specific, but I hear you. I promise that we'll clearly communicate that these are preliminary estimates. We'll reserve the right to adjust them. And also, you can hold me accountable for communicating it properly. I'll include you in the ClickUp chat. And you can chime in any time you want. Deal?
I still don't like to give promises I cannot keep.
Well, yeah, I totally understand it. That's why we'll revisit estimates once we have the designs, but we need to provide our assessment now. Otherwise, the payment for the whole team will be delayed. Unfortunately, David thinks only about his work, and it's totally normal. It's not his job. But you, as a project manager, must address the needs of all project stakeholders. First, you must approve estimates for the accounting team to put the contract in place. And second, this will make your boss happy as well. Third, also imagine you have a demanding client, so they will use any excuse to pay you less and get more from this team. So you must be careful to provide enough information to ensure that estimation approval process won't delay the contract signing. Fourth, you must also address David's needs for a secure working environment. Obviously, he wants to be heard because he brings up a problem that impacts his duties. Now, as you can imagine, I have repeatedly discussed the estimation process with David and other team members, but for some reason, David doesn't want to follow the process. At this point, please pause the video and participate in this exercise. There are no wrong or right answers, only an opportunity for you to improve your skills. So please share your insights on how to handle such a scenario. Write your thoughts in the comments below. So here's what I see in this scenario. You shouldn't push on David or appeal to his professional qualities. That will result in very bloated estimates, maybe not 6 months, but 2 or 3 months of work. But David will use all his experience to explain and justify his estimates, and you will never know what risks or buffers he included. That's why I say stop asking for estimates. Instead, work through fears and concerns together. And here's the step-by-step approach. First of all, capture all assumptions related to estimation. Then break down the work into tasks. After that, make the first draft estimate and identify tasks with a low confidence estimate. These tasks usually have big outlying estimates. Next, break down low confidence estimates into risk reserves and actual work. and capture all those risks and provide an explanation. Okay, I get it. It may seem like a complicated process, but it's pretty straightforward in practice. And the more you work with the team, the more work they'll do themselves. Okay, David, let's work on these estimates together, and hopefully we can come up with numbers that will make everyone happy. So, first of all, let's agree on some basic rules. We have developed several components of the app already, so we assume that this income feature will feel and look like the rest of the app. By the way, we spent 4 months developing the app's first version and releasing it to the market, so saying that one additional feature will take 6 months, well, we need a good explanation here. Do you agree?
Yes, I agree. But you never know what designers will come up with.
Definitely, they're a creative bunch, but let's also agree that if they come up with something extraordinary, we'll push back and ask them to design this feature using standard components as much as possible. And moreover, we have already communicated that multiple times. If they cannot work around it, that will be an excuse to reassess the whole feature and its place in the next release. And with this in mind, I would like you to review the specification one more time and provide me with the breakdown of the tasks as we usually do that. Then please estimate those tasks as you see fit. Don't hold back. Put the numbers as you feel right. I would like to know where those extra months of development may appear for us if we get a fancy design. And we'll meet tomorrow to review and discuss your estimates. Deal?
Sure, boss. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
So, I received the estimates in the morning next day. Before we analyze it, I want to remind you of the overall approach. So, we discussed and captured assumptions that may dramatically impact the estimate. Now, David has made the breakdown and estimation. So, next, we need to identify the low confidence estimates. Let's take a look at the numbers here. If you look carefully, you'll instantly notice that this task, implement a table view UI to display the list of incoming entries, is an outlier. Its estimate is huge for some reason, but there is no further breakdown. Most probably that's because our developer put buffers and risks into it. So the correct question to ask here is, could you please explain the work behind this task? And with this question in mind, it's time to review the estimates with David. Hey David, I've checked your estimates. Great work. Good decomposition, self-explanatory tasks, and the numbers looks good to me as well. But first of all, how much buffer did you put in those estimates? Is it optimistic numbers, or did you add some time for the unknowns?
I'm confident about the majority of tasks. I can finish on time. And yes, extra time here and there for unexpected complications.
By the way, here's a side note. Notice that we are on the same page about adding buffers. And in theory it's called management reserves. And yes, we hide it in the estimates. Nevertheless, that's the result of proper risk management. We learned that our clients have zero tolerance for delays. They would rather spend more time on development than reschedule an already planned out release. Good. Okay, now tell me more about the implement a table view UI task. It looks like some custom development here.
Yes, from my experience, table views are not easy to customize. If you need extra visuals or fancy behavior, the work builds up really fast. That's because I'll have to write a lot of native functionality from scratch.
Okay, I hear you. And what about the assumption we made? We'll try to use the native elements as much as possible. If we get away with it, how much work would native solution require?
For days maximum.
Okay, let's make it 5 days for certainty, and next we'll separate the actual work from risk reserves. We'll leave 5 days here on the table, and we'll reserve an extra 2 weeks for the risks if designers and clients want a fancy table. Do you think that 3 weeks is enough for any fancy variation?
Yes, I can write it from scratch in 3 weeks.
Alright, thank you so much for great work. I'll see you later at the daily meeting. Here's the problem. This is just an isolated task of estimation. It had its challenges, but it went smoothly because we have established processes and tools before and after estimation. And you need to watch this video next to understand how the whole project management approach works as a system. See you there!